Update 6 introduced a lot of extremely broken units that you really need to hear, and I'll be explaining them in this video as well. So without further ado, let's get started with this tier list. By the way guys, our ultimate goal is to reach 100k subs, and if you want to be part of the OG subscribers of AB Plays, you can only claim this badge before 100k subs. So you gotta subscribe right now, and let's get to 100k subs. Yeah, let's get started. Alright, so in my opinion, this is probably going to be one of the best, if not the best tier list on YouTube at the very least, in my opinion, because I did a lot of research, talked to a bunch of people, talked with Discord sweats basically on AV, so it's probably gonna be a little bit better than other tier lists, in my opinion at least. But at the end of the day, tier lists are kind of subjective, or they can't really be 100% correct. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't want people being very toxic in my comment section saying, oh, why didn't you put this higher than this guy? It's mainly because a lot of these units are all good, so it's really hard to say, oh, well, this is better than that guy, or this is better than this. So yeah, I'll be giving my reasonings, okay? So sorry for that quick yap session. Let's get started. All right, so let us start right here. So I did a little bit of changing here. We now have top tier units, obviously the creme of the creme, the strongest units in anime Vanguards, the aura farmers, the goats, the greatest of all times. Then we have the meta units. These are kind of the better units, the ones that most people want to get. Obviously, they're not top tier units, but they're still pretty great. Then we have great units. These are units that you're probably going to use if you don't have the meta top tier units yet, or if you don't have all of the meta or top tier units yet, so you put some of these in your team, or if maybe you just like some of these units, or if you find them pretty interesting to use. All right units are for beginners, same with usable units, and then we have supports, and we also have tournament units, which just ignore this because these guys are not really going to be a thing anymore, and I'll probably remove it in the next tier list. So let's get started. For top tier units, I still have Sangjunu Vanguard at the top. I moved Virgil above Dante because I realized just how much better Virgil is, and he did get fixed to where clone is no longer needed to be moved around than Gogeta and Diavolo. Now, one thing I want to mention is because of the recent update, I feel like Diavolo does not deserve to be top tier anymore. But I'm putting him here because I'm biased, right? I'm gonna be honest, I'm biased, and he's a Vanguard, and I don't want to put any Vanguard below top tier because I'm holding on to the hope that they're eventually going to get buffed to be relevant again. But maybe if he's still this bad and he gets like badly overpowered in the next update, I'll move him down. But yeah, he's gonna stay here even though he doesn't deserve it anymore. I think we're gonna move on to the units now. For Brisket, I'm actually going to be putting Brisket very decently into meta. The only downside for Brisket, the biggest one rather, is the fact that you need to micromanage this unit a lot. So even though he does, or she does have insanely high yo-yo DPS because she's a yo-yo girl. At least when I watched the showcase made by Volk on this unit. But yeah, her DPS is really high, but you need to micromanage her a lot. So for that reason, I'll put her above Roman Ran and not above Ichigo, because Ichigo, despite not having nearly as much DPS, I feel like will still be more usable and more useful in the long run because of the buffs that he gets for stages, right? He will be always useful in future events, and I feel like that's the reason why he's still in here. So yeah, that's his placement, or that's her placement. Next is Becken, and this is okay. I'm actually gonna save this unit for last because this is where I really want to take some time. For Dark Mage, we're gonna put Dark Mage decently into meta. Now he has one support passive, but that support passive is not really as good of a support. Now it's a good support, don't get me wrong, but he also has insane DPS, so I don't feel like it's fair to put him into support if he has not really insane but good DPS. So I feel like it's much better to put this unit in meta units rather than in DPS, because again, in support, because he does have a support but his DPS is good, so it's not fair to put him in support. So for that, I think I'll put him higher than Isdead, but not higher than Ultimate Rohan. Actually, you know what, higher than Ultimate Rohan as well, and maybe just below Yamamoto. That's where I'm gonna put him. And the next one is going to be Kazzy Queen, where I'll put this unit at support, and probably one of the best supports, higher than Katakiri. And this is because, number one, this unit can cleanse energy drain. This unit can freeze with his and apply bubbles, and that alone makes her a very good support unit because there's not very many counters to energy drain. There was a lot added in this update. She's one of those units added in this update that can counter energy drain, but her ability to freeze as well on top of being able to counter energy drain, and the fact that you can use that on 3 units, so this means you can use 3 units to counter energy drain, now means that I can bring someone like Dante into a game mode where energy drain is a problem and not worry about it because I have 3 of these girls to essentially cleanse any unit that I have that's susceptible to energy drain, which makes her really, really powerful. Next, we have Astolfo, which is going to be another support unit, but probably not going to be nearly as high. Now, this unit got gutted and used to be a lot stronger. Now, the fix for her made her a global cooldown, and now basically only one Astolfo in the field. That means if another Astolfo uses an ability, that means it will go on cooldown for every single unit, or for every single Astolfo placedown. Now, she still has pretty good passives. He still has pretty good passives. A very fatal mistake to call her she, but he still has very good passives, so I feel like he'll still be decently high. But I feel like he's not that high as a support. But also, don't get me wrong, he's also pretty decently good DPS unit or damage unit, but I just feel like he fits the support role a lot better, but not as high as a support. One of the things that he can do is make someone immune to stun, but again, since it's global cooldown, this is no longer as overpowered as I thought it was, because yeah, it definitely nerfed him quite a lot. The next one is Gear Boy, and Gear Boy is actually not really going to go very high. I feel like Gear Boy is going to be weaker than a lot of these units, and maybe something like this one. He's definitely the weakest unit in the update in my opinion. In terms of damage, he's not a support unit, he's a damage unit, and his damage is not high at all compared to the other DPS demons added in this update. So I feel like this is the place where he belongs. I watched a lot of tier list videos, and this is where they place him as well. So this is where I'm going to be placing this unit. Next one is going to be Alladin. And Alladin is not going to be as high of a support, but I think I'll probably put him below Astolfo. He is also another counter to energy drain. He makes energy drain useless. He basically just counters energy drain so hard that if you want to, you can just place him down, and if energy drain exists, he will automatically just cleanse it because he has a passive that can kind of do that. So energy drain is made useless by this guy and by Kazzy, but this guy just does it better. That there's a reason I feel like Kazzy is better than this guy, because Kazzy just does the support thing a lot better. So I think I'll put him here. But for PvP, I kind of feel like this guy will be more insane. Now the next one is which one should we do? We have Lefelt and Not Good Guy and then Becken. Okay, I'll do Not Good Guy first, because this guy's a demon. Now, Not Good Guy, I'll actually be putting like very high. And this is because this guy with Monarch or even Traitless is very insane with DPS. If you have his Dragon Install Farm activated, I believe with Monarch he can do around 100,000 plus DPS. And I tested this. In my video, he was clearing 10 bosses, all of them with 6 million HP, all by himself. He was clearing them so quickly. What I mean by clearing them is he was draining their HP extremely fast, and he had 6 million HP, and he drained it to a matter of like 500,000 HP left, and he could kill it if I had better placement, and he did all of this in less than 1 minute. So he had insane damage. Had insane damage output in my opinion. Probably not 1 minute, but he had insane damage output. And also, if you have Dragon Install activated, he's immune to status ailments and status debuff. So yeah, this unit is definitely insane. A very complete unit in my opinion. Also quite cheap, 70,000 something to max out. And I have Monarch on him. And the DPS is just genuinely insane. Also extremely good for PvP. I'll be making a separate tier list for PvP because I feel like it's such a different game mode that it will need its own tier list. But even without PvP, this unit is just insane. And the next one's gonna be Lefelt, and Lefelt will be the top of meta. As you guys can see, in this update, they added so many meta-defining units that a lot of them are going to be in meta. The only unit that's not going to be in meta is Gear Boy, but the rest of them are meta. Like Kazzy is a meta support, Astolfo is a meta support, Alladin is a meta support unit, Lefelt is a meta unit, Not Good Guy is a meta unit. Brisket is a meta unit in terms of damage. And the reason why Lefelt, I feel like you've already seen the videos on her. She does insane damage. She can turn enemies into summons, which means that her summons can basically have like 100 million HP. Now, she did get nerfed, or fixed rather. But before her fix, it was so insanely broken. It still works right now and it's still pretty good. And you can still get like 100 million HP summons when using her. But the reason why he's not a top tier, she's not here. The reason why she's not there is simply because Lefelt needs Monarch to really be good. She's still good without Monarch. But if you do not have Monarch on her, she will be significantly harder to use and you will not be able to gain as much damage. Also, yeah, she will be very annoying to use because you have to macro manage her skill, where you have to basically spam her skill. Now, if you use the auto ability, if you turn the auto ability on her, it will probably still be good, but it will not be as good. The last unit is going to be Becken, and Becken is without a doubt the second best unit in the game. Now, let me explain to you how insane this unit is. This unit is so insanely good that a lot of people put her in meta support. They put this unit in meta support, not knowing that this unit has insanely high DPS. If you watch Valk's video, which is, in my opinion, the best showcases, maybe apart from Shrine's videos, Valk cleared rifts using just this unit alone, and he did it insanely easily with Becken. This unit has insane amounts of DPS, especially with Monarch, and even without Monarch, you can use her as a hybrid support DPS. She is genuinely broken. She has more DPS than, I would say, pretty much every unit in the game right now. As long as, she can do her follow-up attacks, she's so good. Also, it's not really just her DPS. It's also the fact that this unit is a good support unit. This unit is a support that out DPSs most of the DPS units in the game. So she's a support demon. So this is my final tier list right here. If you enjoyed it, hopefully I didn't yap too much, but I really wanted to explain these units as well as I could. And that's gonna be it, guys, for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and claim your OG badge before we hit 100k subs. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.